Breaking news. It's a midweek Circle Jerk America, the midweek episode that will one day force you to pay for. Welcome. I'm Griffin. I'm joined here by my co-host Seppuku.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to regain honor. You know what? I thought today would be a good day to just let Griffin kick my ass for an hour for having the most horrendous foreign policy takes over the last 3 years.
Zach has been saying invade Iran. He's been saying invade Iran. We can take it. We can take it now. And I've been saying leave Iran alone, but let's give up on Taiwan. So we are all
controversial. It's not so much the
here.
Iran invasion that concerns me. I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm flat-footed. And I only have one kidney, and I smell bad, and I have a lisp, and there's a bunch of reasons why they would reject me from the army if it came to draft season. However, I am here to lay forth my permanent name on the podcast, Seppuku.
I think that's ridiculous. I think that nothing that we say on this show should ever be used against us later in the future, and I don't expect that of anyone in the world, and I don't expect that of my co-host either. Because I am wrong. I think I'd like to be wrong the most. You guys want to be right, but I don't care about being right. I care about
which is crazy. You know what? It's kind of
having
like
a good time.
Gavin was talking about how he always will bet against me because I have the Drake curse. Whenever I place a bet, it backfires. He attributed my contribution to Kamala Harris as
don't worry, I'm not going to stoop to Kendrick Lamar's level and create a diss track, but there's a lot to talk about here. And it is a big day. It is a wild day because over the last couple days it seems like Trump's envoy team has forced a at least temporary ceasefire, the first real ceasefire in Israel-Palestine conflict. Just to catch everyone up, if you haven't heard any of the details, the story made me laugh so much because basically Trump sent this guy, Steve Witkoff, who is not like a normal ambassador. He's like a Jewish real estate guy. His claim to fame is that he built this Las Vegas fountain called the Fontainebleau or something like that. So he's
a good fountain, great fountain. Love that fountain.
Listen, at this point, I'm going to toss a coin in that fountain. I'm going to
You know what? I'm from Kansas City, the city of fountains. I know a lot about fountains. I'm a fountain guy. I come from fountain people. That quality fountain, very good fountain. People come from everywhere, all over the world, all kinds of people, great people, all kinds of very good people come to see that fountain. It's a very fine fountain.
I do love Trump's mind that he saw the fountain and was like, this guy could fix the Middle East. This guy could do anything. And he was right.
Donald Trump put a whole $50 in the fountain and it came to him. He says, I know what? This guy, he understands me. I understand him. He's going to do a great job. It's going to be fantastic. It'll be huge. Best deal that's ever been done. No deal's ever been better than this deal we just did.
This truly was an art of the deal type of week. And so getting into a little bit more, this guy Steve goes over and basically Netanyahu's like, oh, can we push the meeting? I have Shabbat. And Steve basically was like, fuck Shabbat. I don't give a shit. He literally, it's like I'm not adding anything there. He basically told him, fuck off. We're meeting now. And what many people, not just the Israelis, but a lot of the Arab diplomats as well, all said this was the first meeting ever that there was any kind of pressure on the Israelis, that this was far different in energy and in tone than anything that the Biden administration had done. So, I think it's total humiliation for Biden. It's like the final ultimate. He's seppukuing.
Yeah. That's my takeaway from this, and I was excited to get your takeaway, Griffin, to break kayfabe a little bit, because to me, all I'm seeing is that this is a tremendous failure from Joe Biden. It doesn't seem like Donald Trump had to fucking do anything. He just showed up and actually was like, you know what? This is what I want to do. We're going to do it my way. It's going to be the highway. It's going to be excellent. Everybody will talk about this highway. Nobody's ever built a better highway.
It's way less a victory for Trump than it is the final failure for Biden, because Trump basically in a moment just showed that Israel is a fucking client state, that we tell them to do whatever the fuck we want. And we could have exerted that pressure at any time. And Trump doesn't like being humiliated. That's the thing. Is like Biden has been humiliated, like right and left, by Bibi, and Trump just is not going to want to endure that same kind of shit. So there's a lot of questions about the future. There's a lot of questions even currently right now in the moment to moment. But yeah, ultimately, this is like, is Biden the worst president ever?
He might be the worst president we've ever had. So feckless. The dude, I honestly, I think, and if I'm being extremely charitable, which we have no reason to be, fuck Joe Biden, I wonder if it is just emblematic of his extreme cognitive decline. We've never had an older president. We've never had a president that seemed less there. I just don't think he had the ability to do anything. I don't think he had the ability to think deeply and critically about anything, and he'd been so brainwashed, and he'd given away all of his powers to the donors who wanted to see Israel continue to be financed. And then he had guys like Anthony Blinken who would go out there and just say random shit to the public and let it all keep happening and just facilitating it. And here we are all left as members of the Democratic Party voting base, not you, Griffin. I'm talking about myself, and I'm just feeling like an extra in the zone of interest right now. I'm feeling like I don't know what the fuck happened, because I'm starting to confront the reality. It makes me sick to my stomach that if Kamala Harris had become president, then this outcome wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is very clear now that if Kamala had won, we wouldn't be seeing a ceasefire right now. Maybe there'd be one way in the future, but the same type of people were going to be running that show over and over again. And Kamala is totally fine with the Israelis humiliating her. She doesn't care at all, as long as she's president. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, Trump's made a lot of deals with other people like Miriam Adelson, who's a huge Zionist donor, gave him $100 million to like say that they can annex the West Bank. And that's probably maybe going to happen. And that's like a lot of bad stuff in the future for sure. But that was happening with Biden too. And this is the first moment where, I mean, from the people that I talked to in Gaza, from the reporters and from the doctors that I've spoken with there, like this is like the first moment where there's like any kind of like hope or like optimism there. So I'm gonna kind of take their direction. I think the people in the concentration camp, I'm gonna vibe shift off them and kind of let them lead in terms of how I should feel about all this.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's.
Holy shit, David Lynch just died.
What?
David Lynch is dead.
Did that just happen? Seriously?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, God, I got to text Gavin because he's going to be fucking devastated.
Oh, my God, let's call him.
Yeah.
Put him on the phone.
Oh, he's not going to want... No, dude, I'm serious. He's going to be fucking devastated. He's not going to want to talk on the phone right now.
No, that'll be good podcasting. All right? Listen, audience, I was pitching a really hot moment, and Zach's like, no, we don't want good clips. We don't want
No,
moments
I'm sorry,
in the show.
but Gavin's not going to want to talk about this right now. This is like his favorite artist ever.
Yes, I mean, yeah, but that's why he should want to talk about it.
That's probably true. I just am telling you, there's a 0% chance he answers his phone right now.
It's not his fucking dad, anyways. So
anyway,
rest in peace, David Lynch. Let's get back to the stories here. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, so
what else is there to say? I feel like a fucking bad person. I just don't know what to do. Right? I genuinely was like, how is the guy that said we're going to recognize Golan Heights? How is the guy that said we're going to recognize an embassy in Jerusalem? How is the guy who's so close to Jared Kushner? Benjamin Netanyahu slept in Jared Kushner's childhood bed. So I feel like I was
kinky
leading myself, like I was feeding myself all this information to try and coax myself into believing something that I wanted to believe already. And seriously, it's breaking my fucking mind. Like I don't know what to think now. I don't know how to process politics moving forward, given the fact that the Democrats just did such a horrendous fucking job, and there's pretty much no other way to talk about it.
Yeah, well, that's a good way of talking about it, because I mean, it's like, focus less on like the obvious easy Trump victory. Like, they've set so many fucking layups for Trump right away. Like, Trump could win up to 3 Nobel Peace Prizes in like the next year, based on very simple.
I saw
easy
your guys' video about that. That's fucking crazy.
So that's just like. And those are all just like layups. Like, they're laying them all up from. They could have done like all those like super easily. So yeah, I think it's probably a good thing if you don't like the Democrats and they're like I mean, they're just complete. They're in the gutter, like, in terms of like destroying like their brand and like anything they stand for. That's like probably good if you like want to like infest the party or like explode it into something else. Like that's probably good long term that people are like this, like that it's this humiliating for them. So I don't know. There's a kind of optimism there. With the Trump stuff, it's like you're never going to really be able to predict what he does because he like loses like track of focus a lot and like is very lazy. But he doesn't like being humiliated. Like he doesn't like being bullied. And he just like he watches the fucking TV. He saw Biden get cucked like every single day, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not dealing with all this. This seems like bullshit and stressful and unsolvable. I mean, they just fucking said that Hamas has the same or more troops than it did before October 7th.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the United States
reamassed.
basically came out and said it was a categorical failure. Like, Israel has lost, despite all of... I mean, it kind of recalls back to Vietnam, right? The United States dropped how many bombs all over the country of Vietnam? We killed and displaced so many people. We imposed so much suffering. Agent Orange burning down villages, raping and pillaging and destroying everything in our wake, and yet we lost, right? It really seems like that's exactly what happened with Gaza and Palestine. They were like, we're going to try and make the suffering so severe. We're going to try and make it so unimaginable. But at the end of the day, they weren't successful at all. It was a complete miserable failure.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I do wonder if like it's kind of like Vietnam a little bit on steroids because of the internet and like how much exposure this one has. Like compared to like Vietnam was like a few photos, like this shit was like drip fed every day into you on Instagram, TikTok, if you were tracking this shit. It was
it's different, right? Because nobody that we knew
show.
was getting taken off the street to go perpetrate that. Nobody was, you know what I mean? But we got to see it all happen on on our phone, right? There was a distinction there.
That's true, and I guess the American troops were like on the ground, boots on the ground, which is way different.
And people were getting drafted.
This is it's getting feisty today. This is from our POV cam from Ryan Grimm here. We're looking at a journalist getting pulled out.
You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I'm asking questions after being told.
What a beautiful ending to the Biden administration. This is like, it's nice. You're really riding off into the sunset.
Yeah. Hopefully he just rolls over and dies in a couple of weeks.
I would like it more if there was a weird act of God, like a tree falling on him or something, like a little, like a little more than a heart attack.
From Amnesty International, to the ICJ, saying that is both doing genocide and extermination. You're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in the Hague? Why aren't you in the Hague?
Yes, that's a good point. We need to remind ourselves, folks, it's not over yet. It's not over till they're in the Hague. Or we make a Hague 2.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet earlier, that the Biden presidency, will be remembered that he governed in the same way that he parented, leaving behind a trail of dead children. I was like, oof.
Nice. Dead baby joke.
That will be the black comedy segue into our next topic.
You should just start doing that. You should just start reading tweets off and passing them off as your jokes.
There we go. I set it up saying it was a
tweet. I know. That's, I think, from our good friend Ayup Lovely, who's been a great. And yeah, I guess just like I got two last things on this topic. One, lock up Biden, Harris, Antony Blinken, Jake Sullivan, Michael Rappaport, Lee Kern, writer of Borat, and let's lock all of them up, and let's at least knock on the doors of everyone that was mean to me on my Instagram stories, all the mean DMs I've received over the last year and a half, and then all the crickets over about the last 8 months when things became far less defensible. But yeah, shouts out to all of those people that I went to college with at NYU, or the people I know in LA that DM'd me insane things. I hope you guys are preparing an apology for me personally. So there's a lot of people that need to be punished still. And that's what we all need to remind ourselves. A lot of charities, lots of things left to do. But I want to talk about the China app that I've been on. Have you been on? Have you been on Xiaohongshu?
Red Note. No, I haven't. Have you been actually playing around on it?
I'm on Xiaohongshu, and I like it more than TikTok already because I'm a little noob to kind of both platforms, but I like Xiaohongshu because you can kind of choose on a grid like what you want to watch in a feed, as opposed to like TikTok that kind of like fucking throws it at you, you know, like they kind of just like shove it in your face. So I like that.
Too aggro.
I like seeing all the cross culture pollination. It's great. Have you been seeing any of these videos at least get reposted on Twitter?
Yeah, for sure. And I've watched them.
People are
like,
amazed.
oh, is it true that you guys haven't had a minimum wage increase in 16 years? Is it true, or is it government propaganda? You guys have to pay for the ambulance after it takes you to the hospital, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's great. I'm just instinctively kind of opposed to short form content like that. It's not really my thing.
Yeah, even if it saves even if it stops World War III, verticals are annoying. I'm sick of captions. I totally agree. We need to get back to full frame widescreen if we're going to save the world. I like that.
Whatever happened to cinema? You know what I mean? Whatever happened to art? That's all I have to say.
That is true. It is crazy though.
The world lost me when the vertical camera became publicly acceptable. I'm not going to lie.
The front-facing video has done more harm to the future of the human species than potentially anything else.
I don't think anybody knows how to read specifically because of the front-facing video.
I do think before AI, we should outlaw front-facing. Put it on a tripod at least and stand in front of it like a camera.
Yeah,
I think
Steadicam. You know, I'll even settle for a selfie stick if you're really putting your back into it.
But here's the thing. People just love pointing at things. People love being on a shitty green screen. Like, people just are addicted to that. But what I like about the things I've seen a lot of Chinese women shooting rocket launchers. That's fun. I've been seeing a lot of people be like, whoa, like China has cities? Like,
bro, people are so thoroughly propagandized. There's like a billion people in China, of course.
It's hard to find stuff about it. It's hard to find stuff about it. Like, I was talking to a guy at the bar like 2 or 3 nights ago. I was telling him I was on Xiaohongshu, and he was like, dude, they're stealing your information. And I was like, where do you think you are? What planet and country and moment in time do you think you are that your information is locked up in a little safe, your little virgin little information box? They are plundering you daily. They could completely reconstruct you and your DNA. You're just too useless to be reconstructed. Immortality exists now.
Yeah, I saw that Johnny Depp movie too, man. It was a crazy ending.
I think that they've done a little cloning and a little immortality. It's just very expensive. I think that's where we're at. So you need to get on Xiaohongshu. I really think you do. Because TikTok is set to be banned on Sunday, but
that's not going to happen though. It's not going to happen. It's going to be teed up for Trump to come in and prevent it from happening and say, no, we're not banning TikTok. We're going to make that a great American app. Somebody's going to purchase
slam
it.
Fucking dunk.
100%. They just
so
team
hard.
up for victories. But I guarantee you, that's what happens. TikTok's not going anywhere. Everybody's going to forget about Xiaohongshu or whatever the fuck you're talking about. They're going to go back to TikTok, and Trump's going to get another easy layup because it was so stupid to entertain the thought of banning TikTok anyway. It was so neo-McCarthyite, Cold War Renaissance. That is one of the things that truly illustrated to me how old and crippled everyone in Congress and everyone in the executive branch was throughout the entire Biden administration. The fact that they thought it would be a good idea to just ban something because it's Chinese right after they'd made such a stink about not calling it the Wuhan virus, not calling it the China virus because that would be racist, right? And then it's like, okay, well, we're going to turn around and we're going to do the sophisticated racism the way liberals do instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love how they played all that. They're like, it's actually less racist to say it came from one of their wet fish swamps or whatever.
Right.
That's where it came. It didn't come from a science place like a laboratory. It came from a swamp, like Shrek. That's what Americans understand.
You know, the dog-eating Chinese, they don't understand regulations like we do in our sophisticated country as Westerners.
Oh, man.
But don't say anything about their traditional practices because they're beautiful too.
Dude, Chinese Shrek would make $1 trillion fucking dollars. So like Trump again, it was like, oh no, I'm probably not gonna ban it or whatever. So like kids are gonna like him more again, and yeah, I mean, my hope though is that I actually think people will stay on Haozhongshu because it's sick. It's kind of sick to have a portal to a place that you can't see. Like I fuck Blue Sky. I know what that's like. I want like a portal to China. That is unique on the internet, and I will check in every so often to see how they're doing over there.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it would. I don't really fuck with that kind of thing, but I hope that it leads to more.
Because you hate China?
Oh yeah,
I want to go to China.
That's exactly.
Now.
I hate China so bad. No, I love the idea of going to China. I'm gonna be.
Dude, we should go, dude. Like, for me, it used to be that weeb white American. I want to go to Japan thing. Fuck Japan. Like, I've played so many video games now that are set in Tokyo. I feel like I've been there. Let's go to China. I want to see the wall. I want to see the super cities. I want to see it all.
Speaking of communist capitals, we're going to Ho Chi Minh City in like a month. We'll report back with some findings in revolutionary spirit. But
dude,
just don't throw from China.
I wonder how much it is to go. That would be super sick.
To go to Ho Chi Minh? Bro, the flight is agonizingly long, but they're not that expensive. Well, you're coming from New York. Oh, it's easiest to fly out of SF.
This is one of my favorite things coming out of the Israeli reaction.
Why are they making Trump look based?
Trump is Hamas now. Trump screwed them. I like this a lot. Hopefully they make MAGA mad. If they insult MAGA, that'll be even stronger anti-Israeli contingent if they're mean to their president, right?
What do you think this means for all the quiet background ambition from not necessarily Trump, just the people who he puts in his cabinet who deep down really do want to go to war with Iran? Do you think that's dead and gone now?
I mean, everything is unpredictable, and he's super lazy, and he keeps getting older. But I feel like he just doesn't like to be caught in intractable things like boots on the ground places, and we'll probably do more like missile strikes and kind of like more blustery stuff.
Yeah, kind of like the first term.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first term. Like he might blow up a general somewhere, like out of nowhere, like just kind of like stealth kill a few, like. But I could be totally wrong. Like I don't really have a strong feeling about it right now. But I do hope that enough of the Israelis get really mad at Trump and are like, "How dare you, Trump?" But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You have to take your wins where you get them right now. You got to take your little wins.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, speaking of winning. Speaking of winners, Griffin.
Oh, you got a segue.
Speaking of people who love to win, they hate to lose. You know, it takes a certain kind. I know this from personal experience because I'm also a gamer. You know, me and Elon were gamers. Okay, me and
Elon are equivalent gamers. Yes.
Me and Elon. You know what? A lot of people they accuse us of cheating. They accuse us of rigging or hacking or nerfing or whatever the lingo that the kids are running with today.
Right.
You know. Just because I might be AFK for a little bit before I, get back from my IRL occupations and all that stuff.
That's pretty good.
You know?
That's knowledge. That's knowledge right there.
Then you come down and you square up with the little childrens and you're playing your World of Warcraft and your StarCrafts and, Warhammer Online, whatever, the kids are cracking at these days. And, you flex and then they just recoil and they try and accuse you of horrendous things. And that's what exactly happened to my fellow man Elon recently.
Yeah. Wow. Listen. I
like what you did there.
In the world of Warcraft. So, okay. This is probably the second most important thing that's happened since the ceasefire. Because we've been waiting for a while to see when will the wall crack for the Elon fans? What is the thing that Elon can do? And we said for a while there's nothing he could do to upset a portion of his audience and turn them off from him and for them to finally see him as stupid, bad, and repellent and evil. Until today. until the Path of Exile drama dropped. So he got caught streaming
For
Path
people
of
who
Exile
don't know,
2.
what's Path of Exile?
Okay, Path of Exile 2. I'll bring this back in a sec. Path of Exile 2 is a top-down Diablo style video game that is a little more complicated or a little more difficult than your average game in that genre. And he was live streaming it on X, the Everything app, and got caught basically talking about his gear and his item levels. For instance, he pulled up one of the best items in the game dropped for him, and he read the item description wrong and said it was bad and didn't equip it. Something that no one would ever do. That's blatant. He literally doesn't know the basics of the game at that point, is what people could obviously spot. And real gamers can spot.
Counterpoint, what if he's such a gamer that he thought having such powerful equipment would make it less fun?
Himself. He's nerfing himself.
Because, listen, guys, and I know this from personal experience.
He's working out with weights on.
Sometimes when I go to the bar, and you don't want to just rack them up when you're playing pool. You don't want to just be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 ball. That's no fun. People start to get annoyed. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll miss a little bit. I'll take turns. You know what I mean? I'll pretend I'm just one of the guys for fun. Because who likes to show off?
Right, 100%. You nerf yourself, and that's a classic thing to do. You want to show
it's a good guy move.
Yeah. You bleed yourself a little bit before you enter the arena. But so that happened. Everyone called him out, and it was one of the first times where gamers, which are a big portion of his fan base, were like, I don't know why Elon would lie about this. This seems really lame of Elon. And I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing these. But then he really stepped in it by going for the gamer incel rat king Asmongold. Who
long documented by this podcast.
Long documented character, a CGA character that's done great for us in the past. He reacted to the Elon stream, said it was clearly fake, and Elon got very upset and removed Asmongold's blue check mark on Twitter. He de-knighted him from X.
You are not, sir. You are peasant now.
So, and he also posted DMs between them. So Elon says here, Asmon behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He is not his own man.
Well, you're talking kind of fast, Elon. Did you do a line before this?
I don't like doing it slow. I'm gonna find my own Elon. I don't think that was exactly it yet, but I mean we're gonna have to each find our own Elon impression that's unique.
Everyone has an Elon in their heart.
It speaks to a certain spirit. We're gonna all have to find our own over the next few years. He posts then DMs between him and Zach, where Zach says, "I'm gonna see if my editors might want to make a second account for it even." Elon says, "Sure. Who are these mysterious editors?" Asmongold says, 2 guys, at D Asmongold and Cat Danny Rue. They basically run the entire YouTube account, lol. So basically any content I post is edited or uploaded by them, and they just get a cut of the ad rev. It's a super good system, to be honest. Almost everyone on YouTube does it. And Elon responds, one word, interesting.
How does this make him not his own man to have editors that he's collaborating with?
Well, and also, I mean, why is he mad? Asmongold is being as submissive as possible. He's totally big dogging Zach here. Why is he even upset? There's not even a fight happening, and he's like, this guy is a pussy.
Wait, was Asmongold not one of the guys that exposed the fact that he was not the gaming?
Well, he just
expert he professed to be.
Someone else exposed it first, and Asmongold just reacted to every video. So Elon watched the video and got mad. It's not like Asmongold was the only one behind the exposing or whatever. But he
probably sees himself in Asmongold, right? So it hurt a little more to watch him throw him under the bus.
It's sad, but first to be caught cheating in gaming, that is a cardinal sin. Very few people respect cheaters or bots. It is one of the worst things you could be. And on top of
right
that,
up there with campers. COD. You guys remember Modern Warfare? Hello, gamers.
nice. There we
know.
go. Hey, what's that? What's that one? What's the Nuketown? Nuketown? Anyone?
Nuketown. Everybody who remembers Nuketown. Yeah.
I served in Nuketown.
Noctur on Toden, or you know what I'm talking about?
COD zombies, Nazi zombies. So wait, what are we talking about?
69 rounds in COD Zombies. Nuketown.
Elon and Asmon. So they went after the incel king, and so people are now very, very upset. And it seems like maybe for the first time, this is the Achilles heel. Maybe this is the thing that can finally undo Elon, is if we prove that he's a fake gamer over and over again.
The gaming community, I'm learning, much like the almond milk community, the alternative milk community, I've learned fractioned time ago. Now, there you got the soy milkers, the oat milkers, the coconut milkers, and the almond milkers. I'm starting to learn that the gaming community functions in a similar fashion. Many of them followers of the Rat King, Asmongold.
Mm-hmm.
I would liken them to the almond milk community. Well mobilized, ardent, and a little bit
Take
rude.
too much water for their value. So Elon is still going on a tear here. He's responded. He says, "I'm on hundreds of streams on YouTube/Twitch playing live with the world's best players. No other way to say this, but while Osman is good at caustic commentary and making fun of people, he is not good at video games." Wow. And then the community note here is pretty vicious. People really are coming out to bat for Asmongold here. They're saying his achievements here, that he's rank 12 Arms Warrior in Emerald Nightmare. He's rank 47 Arms Warrior in Blackrock Foundry, and many more. Meanwhile,
What are those things?
So there's there's different achievements. He's played the game for, World of Warcraft's been out for almost like fucking 20 years now or some
I
shit.
played WoW when I was in 6th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I have played WoW the entire time it's been out, but at varying degrees of frequency and intensity. It was very intense when I was young. Now I just check in and I play it for like 20 hours and I peace out. But he has played that entire time, and over the course of that time, there's certain achievements for skill that you can get. There's been all sorts of different types of ways to do it. Some of those specifically are like some hard modes of certain areas.
Is it like PvP or raiding or...
So both of those are PvE, I'm pretty sure. So those are just against fucking computers or whatever.
Yeah, so see, how does that even count? Team Elon, okay, it doesn't count if you... Oh, so you're playing a bot? Okay, okay. You beat the computer. Wow, why don't you come and step into the arena, pal?
Now we have to change the title of this video to Defending Elon from the fraudster Asmongold. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this really kicks him in the teeth. Hopefully this is what takes him down a peg. That's all we can hope for, I guess. It's just a bright day.
Elon, you'll bounce back, buddy. Just, stay quiet for a while. Buy Xbox Live, and
go quiet. Go on Xbox Live. Just go off the grid.
And start playing Nintendo or something where the competition is.
And they announced the Switch 2 today, which is so humiliating for Biden that that they're doing it for Trump. They announced the Switch 2. It looks great.
Did you see that Coca-Cola made a specific Diet Coke bottle for Donald Trump's inauguration?
What, really?
Yeah.
Find it. Pull it up.
Yeah, I'll find it.
While you do that, let me pull this picture up. This is great. Now, there's a lot of fun things that happen with the new presidency. Now, I'm not a fan of this presidency, but there are fun moments whenever there's a change in administration, like when they get their little pick, their little yearbook photo. Oh, what is this?
Coca-Cola CEO gifted Trump a special edition bottle of Diet Coke for his inauguration.
Damn, that's going to be such a collector's item.
Yeah, apparently they made one for Barack Obama, too.
Yo, I have to get the Trump Diet Coke.
There we go. There it is, baby. Right there.
Are they selling that to the public?
I don't know. Let's read it from the Times of India.
Yeah, let's
Social
find out
media
in
calls
India.
Coca-Cola CEO's Diet Coke
Only
gift to Donald
releasing in
Trump.
India. They're only releasing the diets in India.
Ass-kissing pilgrimage. Donald Trump's love for Diet Coke is something that the world swears by, as he had a Diet Coke button on his desk to get it anytime he wanted. He was even known for having up to 12 cans of Diet Coke a day. Now, ahead of his inauguration, he has received a special gift from Coca-Cola.
That's a lot of Diet Coke.
You know,
well, okay,
anyway.
wait. He received it, but is it? It's not for public consumption.
Nope, there's no way you
That's
can
such
get your hands
bullshit.
on one. I know. You know, one thing that Andy Warhol famously said that he loved about Coca-Cola, Griffin, you're a New Yorker, you probably know this. You love Andy Warhol. You know, that's why you moved there, because you were like, man, I'll be able to eat Campbell's soup in the home of Andy Warhol. But he said a famous thing about Coca-Cola. He said what he loved most about that all-American company, that powerhouse brand, was that there was no way to get a better Coca-Cola, even if you were the president of the United States. It all just came in a glass bottle that a working man could buy or that the president could buy. That's all over, Coca-Cola. Andy Warhol's dead, and so is brand consistency. Shame on you.
Yep, shame on you. A deep shame. Dude, this David Lynch stuff, it's fucking me up, you know?
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I feel like he was old, but not super old.
So what happened if you he had emphysema, and when you have emphysema, getting exposed to the bad air from the fires is probably not very good, and I wouldn't be surprised if that had something to do with how he passed. He hadn't left his house in months because he'd just been self-isolating ever since he got his emphysema diagnosis, and he quit smoking.
That?
And emphysema is like
thing.
Oh, yes. You know, do you not know what emphysema is? Emphysema is like basically what happens. It could come from lifelong smoking use. Basically, it's where your body and your cells in your lungs can no longer fight off infection in the way that they could. It's so enough of the cells. It's how my great-grandpa died. Enough of your cells died. It used to be really, really, really common because the generation that smoked like 2 packs a day their whole lives all died when they were like 75 because of it. It was like, oh, if you get sick, you get an infection, your body's just not going to be able to fight back. Not to scare Griffin because...
Can I smoke in here? Can I smoke in here?
But the reality is that David Lynch smoked a lot of cigarettes all into his later adult life, even into his 70s, and I think that caught up to him.
Well, I was feeling really good on this episode. That sent a shiver down my spine, but you know, maybe I'm okay with recording raw, real moments like this. Unlike you not letting Gavin find out about David Lynch.
Yeah. Gavin taking a phone call as he got the worst news of his day as he sits across from his grandpa at lunch. Just fucking joining the Circle Jerk America podcast.
What do you think? Did he crush? Did he slay?
Is this a painting or is this a
this is his
photograph?
This is his yearbook portrait.
His eyes don't look right. He looks like his eyes have been corrected too much. There's no way that's the actual color they are.
No, the eyes are... It's not the color, it's the size. There's no black in his eyes. You know, like the...
Yeah, the pupil is really... What's he on?
There's he's on something.
He's got to be on drugs. If this is a real picture and not like an AI generated or a hyper realistic painting or whatever the fuck, there's something wrong about that. That man's on a lot of drugs. I've been on a lot of drugs, but those are typically drugs that make your pupils bigger. I never fuck with nothing that made your pupils that small.
So what? You think they photoshopped out all the red in his eyes or something? He's like,
you know, when you could
like
see
a dragon.
A clear manifestation of Satan, I think they had to work with it. You know, they had to be like, you know what, guys, listen, you can see Satan right here. It's like gonna be a thing. You know, the Christian worshipers are gonna be confused. They were like, don't worry, we got this. We're just gonna zoom out a little bit. Nobody will be able to tell.
It is weird because, you know, he's old, but he does like give you like a little boy.
How old is he?
Forever. I mean, he's like, I don't
40.
know, he's only 40.
Yeah, he's 40. He was born in 1984. You know?
Wow.
So I'm like, this is not how you look. This is not like, I'm looking at him right now. He does have really blue eyes. That is one thing I am noticing when I'm looking at really closely at all, like strikingly blue eyes.
He's got the tie to make the eyes
it
pop
brings
too,
it out. But I'm looking at other pictures of him. the pupils aren't small like that. I don't know. I'm not a. I mean,
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna
expert.
start
Looks fucking
smizing like
weird.
that. Yeah. So the picks are happening, and
Donald
I
Trump
am,
looks like he's posing for The Apprentice season 48 in his
Hold up.
picture.
Let's see
Have
it.
you not seen it? Yeah, here. I've got a Fox News. Oh,
Oh,
what
is that
fuck?
is that the one that's like lit like a Batman villain?
Yes, dude. Look at this.
The lighting is so awesome with this one.
It's
What
very
is
Trump.
What is the lighting there? The lighting is out of control. It's all underlit.
The raised eyebrow, the squint. This man knows his place in history, and he doesn't give a fuck.
The face is one thing, but the underlighting is out of control, and it's like a weird. It's like the room is darker, and it's like a moonlit shot. Like he's up against a window, and the moon is shining on his face.
Yeah.
The style is totally different. The right one, the Vance one, is like normal with a little AI.
Yeah.
The left one here is it's like a ghost story. It's like he's telling a story on the campfire.
More than that, it's like he's about to take over Gotham City, kind of like you said. I have no idea why you would go with this. Like, he clearly loves to present himself as a powerful businessman, but
I feel
I
like
just think it's
Melania had a
hilarious
lot.
how it
Melania
works for
must
him.
have had a lot to do with this one. Melania, because this reminds me of Spooky Christmas that she did at the White House. So maybe she had something to do with this too. Melania does seem to be more involved this time around. Yeah.
They had to have some sort of agreement where she got a raise in her allowance, but she has to be
Yeah,
featured
she got a
more
raise in her
publicly.
allowance. She got a PS5. I don't know what, but
JD Vance
seems
looks
happy.
like the grown-up version of the kid who played Stillwell Angel in A League of Their Own, and that's the only thing I ever think of when I see him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else knows that reference, but this kid, he just looks like the fat kid that's a little annoying and a little bit Leave It to Beaverish.
It is. It's Leave It to Beavery. Yeah.
He's
which
like
is
a 7-year-old in a 40-year-old's body.
and people like that. People like that combo, I guess. So I am going to the inauguration.
Yeah.
Um,
Congratulations.
I'm trying to figure out my plans
Witnessing
right
history.
now.
We're taking America back. Make America great again.
It is one of the coldest inaugurations on record in history. It's gonna be fucking
Poignant.
cold as shit. Which makes me kind of not want to go. I might just go to the parties the night before and then leave.
Fake.
But I mean, listen. Let's just say, chance in a million. If I'm able to get a photo with Trump, you take it, right? You take the opportunity. You get the photo with Trump.
Yo, you have to get a photo with Trump. Did you take a photo with Trump?
If you have the opportunity, and it's like someone's gonna post it later as a quote tweet on your political opinion. Like, oh, really? You feel this way? Here's you with Trump, and you have to be at peace with that. I think.
Permanently respond. I keep my friends close and my enemies closer, dog. When was the last time I took a picture with you, huh? That's because you're my
Exactly.
boy. I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But this guy, Donald Trump, I wanted to look him in the eyes and say, watch yourself, bro. You wouldn't have the balls. You wouldn't have the balls to stare down the man himself and say, you know what, dude, I got my eye on you. Secret Service might have hauled me away after that. You don't know. You don't know
I'd
my
like to
life.
be like, I get the photo and be like, I would try to take a video and be like, can we say Free Palestine?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, so, okay, obviously, now here's the second question. Obviously, you get the pic. That seems obvious. Second question. Do you post the pic? Do you
Yes.
post the pic?
I post the pic and I say, Trump just told me he wants to abolish Israel. Make
Trump
America
just-
great again.
Trump just told me. Hashtag MAGA. Hashtag what we're now calling folks when Trump does something good, like this ceasefire thing, even if it is for some future selfish reason. When he does something good, we call it light MAGA. This is now light MAGA, the MAGA of light that abolishes the dark MAGA.
Yeah, we call it the
From
maggot.
within.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The maggot
exactly.
in all of us.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know if it's gonna be
Taking
worth
shit
going.
and making it a home.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be worth going to. The inauguration. I feel like it's not gonna be like. Are they even gonna have like big TVs? Like I know I'm not gonna get close. I mean, I am curious to see.
You're going to be able to tell your children's children that you watched the
that I was
man
there.
who made America great.
That I watched America get great. Get good. But
Did you ever see the Apprentice movie, Griffin?
No, I got sent a screener and then it expired.
Oh,
Bullshit.
never mind then.
I mean, what is spoiler alert of some sort?
No, they just have a tremendous scene where he's in the 80s and he gets a flyer from Ronald Reagan and they're like, he's going to make America great again. And he goes, I like again. It implies the past was great. And I always think about that whenever I...
But he's going to have quite a list of people. He got Carrie Underwood and he's got Kid Rock. But most importantly, he's got Village People.
Finally, the Village People, two of them. It's two of them, right? It's like he's got
really? It's the whole band did not sign up for it. Just a few of them.
I was kidding. I was gonna joke that he just has the Indian guy, the Native American one, and you know the hardworking construction hat wearing guys. You know the two fringe elements. You know, so he only has the Y and the A, but it's enough for we're gonna make America. I don't know. I'm kidding.
We've got young adult.
There's nobody to play the NASCAR race that night though. They've got Carrie Underwood's booked, Kid Rock's booked. I'm sure 3 Doors Down and Jelly Roll are going to be an appearance. You know, who's left to play that circuit? What are the people of Arkansas going to do for fun that weekend, huh? You selfish, arrogant bastards.
Oh, I hope we get that Roseanne song with our boy, the rapper.
Creed's on tour. You guys might be lucky out there.
What's his name? The guy that you sent me a photo of?
Oh, McDonald? Tom McDonald or whatever?
Tom McDonald posted this photo with Rosie O'Donnell. If you're not shocked, it's happening.
Roseanne Barr, I'm pretty sure, not Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, fuck. Roseanne Barr.
Canceled. This man doesn't know how to tell white women apart. That's prejudice, okay?
No, in fact, it's the opposite. I know so many white women, and I think about how good they'd be at rapping all the time. Here, let me put this up.
Yeah.
Take your shit. Hey, can you take that down?
Oh, yeah. I thought you had all the sticks. My bad.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is photoshopped as fuck. Did they actually make a song together?
I think this is the real Tom McDonald account on Facebook. If you're not shocked it's happening, you'll be shocked when you hear Roseanne rap. She snapped. Friday at 9 a.m., bro. Tomorrow at 9, we're going to find out. Circle back on Sunday for this week's Circle Jerk React Along with Tom McDonald.
Yeah, because he doesn't copyright strike, so we have to react.
Screw the woke. Screw the woke.
Screw the woke. The new Christmas song. They say they don't make any good Christmas songs anymore.
Bro, we brought out so many divorced dads when we cut that clip. It was glorious. I responded to all of them, and it was, I would hit him with all of the easy stuff like, oh, yeah, this is what you're doing on Christmas because your kids are with your ex-wife, huh? It must be lonely being out of state, all that kind of stuff. It was great. It was like, whack-a-mole.
Well, in the last little bit here, I did want to get your specific reaction, Zach, to a big story, which is that finally we're getting a lot of justice on this episode, and more justice has just come in. Drake is suing Universal Music Group for defamation and harassment over its release of the Kendrick Lamar diss track, Not Like Us, last year. Finally, someone is taking down this slanderous, uncreative hit piece.
You know what, Griffin? You're the only person I know that's hated on every single one of these diss tracks. And
yeah,
I wonder if maybe you, Drizzy, Baca, as mentioned in the track, maybe you guys all...
Me and Baca, we do go way back. We used to be
the Young Money
beds.
Militia. Maybe you guys took a trip to the Epstein Island. I don't know. I don't know what you guys were up to in your early youth.
we're
whatever
sort
you
of,
saw, whatever happened to you, Griffin,
we're
I
new
forgive
money.
you. Let's start the healing.
We're new money, so we didn't get invited to the island. That's old money kind of stuff. You got to make your own island when you're new money.
So you're saying you were more a Diddy Party kind of a guy.
I'm saying that I would. Here's what I'll say, and
He's
and
stumbling. He's
this will be
stammering.
clipped.
If he were on the stand, the jury would be convicting right now. I'm talking about you just lost 9, 10 jurors. You got 1 or 2 that are on the fritz. They want to buy it because of the White Boy Act. Come on, Griffin, bring it home. You never were on Epstein's Island or anywhere near Diddy's party, and it had nothing to do with why you moved to New York City, right?
This will be clipped out of context, but I, of course, would have gone to the Diddy party because I wouldn't have known that they were bad until I got there. And then I could have been a white hat P. Diddy party goer, and I could have done some sort of like I'm not really there Joaquin Phoenix type act.
Yeah,
Get like a
that's
hammer.
true. He would have for the lulz, everyone, for the artistic gag, for a mockumentary. He actually filmed Diddy's freak-offs for Diddy. Now, he accepted a small fee. Otherwise, that would have ruined the bit. So Borat style, he went in there with a video camera.
It would have broke my cover. It would have broke my undercover. You have to take the money. You have to take the money. If you're gonna,
it's simply
so I'm a part of the
self-expression.
lawsuit. I want to get back to the lawsuit for a second. So Drake is suing Kendrick Lamar for being mean to him, but also there's a very specific. I don't know if you read any of this, Zach.
I didn't read any of this.
Well, they're specifically alleging that by saying the words colonizer and they not like us, that Kendrick is being anti-Semitic to Drake. And
is Drake Jewish?
Yes. What? You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he's Canadian and Jewish.
Interesting. I knew it was on Degrassi.
See, this is... And you think that you can speak at all about this beef stuff when you don't even know Drake's Jewish. Okay, well, okay.
I don't need to know nothing about Drake. Never been a Drake stan. Always been a Drake hater. That's my motto. My motto is go listen to Kendrick Lamar.
I guess I'm living in all the context. You are a white suburban child listening to the anti-Semitic Hamas leader, local American ambassador Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
So that's part of the lawsuit, and I mean, what else? What else are they claiming here? Let's see.
Is it illegal to call someone a colonizer if they're Jewish, though? Like, I mean, you can call people a lot of things.
Well, I mean, in America is run, by a few amazing companies and organizations, ADL, APAC, things like that. So. I think Kendrick is probably big enough to outlast this, but we will have to see here. So it's not just about anti-Semitism, though. It is specifically, I think, about mainly the pedophile allegations, like the fact that he is a certified pedophile, which I'm not
lover boy, certified pedophile.
Right. And I do think there is a case to be made that if you do get every child in America to call someone a pedophile, maybe there is a case, or maybe it's just very funny. Maybe
I think it's
just very
hilarious,
funny
and I think that he's already a public figure. You know what I mean? So I think that the same laws that protected CNN when Monica Lewinsky had a case. Oh, hey, Jake Tapper, I don't think this really happened. Like, well, you're a public figure, so we're free to speculate.
Wait,
right?
what happened with the Monica thing? Just that they were shitty to her?
Every news network implied a bunch of shit that they couldn't technically prove about Monica Lewinsky, and ever since then, sorry guys, I'm reading a book about the 90s and how the fucking scandals and sex stuff of the 90s. But long story short, there's no way to say that Drake can sue Kendrick for the implication that he's a pedophile when Monica Lewinsky wasn't able to turn around and sue these people because they said she was a whore, or because they said that she was a fucking liar, or because they said that she was a ladder. All these slanderous things. Okay. Because in America, you have the right to do that, baby, if you're a public figure. Now, you have a lot less leeway if I was to just start doing all this shit about my neighbor who worked at a bank. You know what I mean? But once you are in the public domain as a public figure, you can do a lot of shit. You can say a lot of shit about people in America. Very hard to, win that case in a court of law is all I'm saying.
Didn't like the lady that came out and called out Joe Biden or whatever for like Lewinsky behavior or
Reid.
whatever. Tara Reid, didn't she like move to Russia or something?
Dude, she's
like
on
that?
the Russian payroll now. That's what's crazy
Dude,
about this.
I gotta
lady.
respect that. I think that's sick to go from like to just like cause a loud exit and then just go to Russia.
Bro, not only go to Russia, go to Russia as an American political refugee.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because she said she was under persecution during the Joe Biden presidency, and so she fled to Russia.
That's great. I mean, imagine if Monica Lewinsky fled to Russia. That'd be awesome. Damn, dude, David fucking Lynch.
I know, bro. It sucks.
What's your favorite David Lynch movie?
Probably Mulholland Drive. I know it's not that creative, but I think it is awesome. I've recently
not that creative. Isn't it known for being creative?
No, it's not that creative of a choice. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just meant like I picked his most famous and well celebrated movie. I love a lot of his movies. I've seen almost all of them. I think I have only not seen Dune and Inland Empire. I love Blue Velvet. I think Lost Highway's resurgence and renewal in popularity is really warranted, and I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan. But what about you?
I am less fully well read into like everything he's done. I've seen like the first season of Twin Peaks, but my favorite thing was Wild at Heart.
Dude,
I
Wild
really
at Heart's
liked,
awesome.
Yeah, I really liked that with Cage and what's her face from
Laura Dern,
Jurassic Park. Yeah,
Willem Dafoe is incredible in that movie.
Yeah, that movie is just got a fun kind of crazy energy to it. So yeah, damn, I'm gonna be flipping on some Lynch tonight, man. We gotta honor freaking Lynch.
Yeah, pour one out for David Lynch. I'm hoping that the movie theater down the street from my house plays a bunch of David Lynch movies now on the big screen. Dude, one thing that's so tight, and I feel like I can brag about, it's like the only thing I can brag about to you living in New York is the fact that it's like $5 to see movies on Tuesdays across the street from my house. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, dude. Because Salisa was in LA recently, and they were talking about IMAX tickets. It's like $28 to see a movie in LA if you get the IMAX ticket. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, that's why you got to go AMC A-list, because then you can see unlimited movies a month in any format. So then you can see everything in like the high. Like
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's $25 a month. So if you see 2 movies, that's pretty good. I'm gonna do a full advertisement here at the end. The best part
is also doing something similar to that. I think you can only see 1 movie a week though.
Oh yeah. And like there's these. I like the Dolby screens the best because they got the sick.
Me too. That shit's fire, but it's so far from my house. That's the downside.
It's not just the visual quality, but the sound is fucking awesome at the Dolby.
I saw the Northman in one of those. It was fucking awesome.
And then what's also sick is there's a lot of great 70 millimeter projection at the AMC Lincoln Square. So like I saw The Brutalist in 70 millimeter at 9 a.m.
I'm fucking jealous.
And it was a tremendous fucking experience. Like it, and then the intermission was so sick. Like we're talking about.
Thank God there's an intermission.
Oh my God. Like
there is a fucking showing. Okay, I'm pissed off, right? Because there's a bunch of showings today in Kansas City, and immediately, but only at one theater, and all of the cineasts got to it before me, bro. And so now I'd have to sit in like the fucking front row to get it. And because it doesn't have wide release, it's an AMC Town Center 20, which has the 70 millimeter capability. I don't know if these will be in 70 millimeter, but I know they did like Hateful Eight in 70 millimeter way back then, because this is like deep in the suburbs. It's like a 40-minute commute from me. I would do it for The Brutalist, but fuck,
dude,
all the
honestly,
good tickets have sold out.
Intermissions can heal the world. It was such a community experience. You walk out at intermission, you kind of feel like everyone is an adult together on a field trip. Like we all are like we're strangers, but we're all kind of like moseying around and kind of all having the same experience, like on a tour or something. It's great. Some people are chatting. Some people are chatting about what they'd seen in the movie. I was like, put it in every fucking movie, regardless of the length. This is just great. Like this is the community space of the future that we need, the movie theater. So that was sick. And
dude, I'll tell you what though. Last time I went to the movies, I saw A Complete Unknown. Right, totally mid movie,
dad
cookie
movie,
cutter,
awesome.
Go see it on a Saturday afternoon. He does kill. That's him, Ed Norton, and the lady that plays Joan Baez. I thought really carried the movie.
Yeah, of course.
But there was an old man sitting one row behind me. It's a local movie theater, not a chain, so it's a smaller theater unless you're in the main blockbuster theater that they have. And the guy's sitting behind me, and in between breaks of shoveling his gluttonous mouth with fucking popcorn.
That's me, dog. That's me, dog.
He would shout out whenever he recognized one of the Bob Dylan songs. He'd be like, this is a classic.
No.
Or he would start singing along with Timothée Chalamet. Or he would be like, that girl playing Joan Baez looks just like what's her name from The Graduate. It would be so loud. And I would be so angry. But I also didn't have it in me to shout at this like 80-year-old man who was really excited to watch a Bob Dylan movie. And I was like, I did this to myself when I came to a 1 o'clock matinee showing where it was only $5 to watch this movie.
That's matinee behavior. Here's the other thing is like, people complain about movie theaters, and it really is just movie theater specific. There are just some movie theaters where everyone there is like a farm animal, and like you have to. It's a disaster. It's a wreck, and you go, okay, I don't come back to this theater. Then you go to another theater, and it's really just a vibe the theater puts out. There's something in the air they put out. It's like, no, this is a theater of adults that respect.
Normally, the Screenland is like
process.
that. They'll show foreign films. They show everything, even if it's just for a night or two, even if they take a loss on it. It's a 4-screen theater. You know, it's locally owned. The guy's on the city council. You know what I mean? But he's like a nice guy. He's a cool dude. And yet, for whatever reason, sometimes I've gotten so unlucky. Like one time, I got into it with this guy because this guy was like fucking my age. And I'm sitting next to him when I went and saw Last Night in Soho. And I just watched The French Dispatch. Oof. And I was seeing a double feature. And I'm really excited because I like Edgar Wright a lot. I think that he's a great director, and I was super excited to watch it. The guy next to me is pissed drunk and wants to have a conversation with me. And I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm not talking to you about this. And he's like, oh, bro, I'm sorry, I'm talking. I'll buy you a drink. And I was like, shut up and move somewhere else. And he would not shut the fuck up. And so then Salisa's sitting next to me, like getting angry that I'm making like a fucking scene with this guy in here. And like, and I'm like, bro, I am so fucking trying to watch this movie too. And it's like, downtown, things will be great for you. And I'm like, shut up, dude. I need you to fucking die really quick. This guy's like fucking falling all over the place, like pissed drunk. I was like, you animal. So those are my two really bad experiences recently watching movies in the theater. It makes me like an RLM guy, like a red letter media. Why would I go into a stinky, smelly, disgusting theater? But I do. That? Oh, the RLM guys hate movie theaters. They go so hard against movie theaters. And I used to think it was funny to trigger Gavin by entertaining that and being like, movie theaters suck. But really, the best part about watching a movie is watching it with other people and then talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. Going to the movie and having a shared experience with someone, and it's nice to experience stuff with people without talking the whole time either. That's also fun. The theater thing. I think the worst for me recently was I saw that fucking Into the Spider-Verse sequel or whatever. Yeah, and the guy next to me was doing this like performative laugh, like out loud to the movie. But the thing was, he wasn't just like laughing at joke lines. He was laughing at like every line. Like he was laughing at little scene beats within the scenes that weren't even like jokes or comedy. He was just laughing at every fucking moment. It was like when like it'd be like Miles Morales would be like in his principal's offices, and the teacher would be like, "Did you do your homework?" And he'd be like, "Ah, ha, ha!" Like, and the guy on my other side is this massive guy, a few seats down. And he starts turning over, and he thinks I'm doing it. He thinks I'm the one with the performative annoying laugh. And this guy is like a bodybuilder. He's super jacked. He's with his girl, and they're both pissed. And he keeps leaning over and looking at me as if I'm the one laughing. And I'm like, holy shit, no, it's not me, but I'm getting framed for this right now. So I start like shutting my face down. Like I'm like I've never laughed before in my fucking life. I'm just like keeping my face down. And then he eventually gets up and he comes up to me and he's like, hey man, are you laughing? I'm like, no, it's this motherfucker here. And then this big guy shut him down. So there was movie theater justice.
Bro, one time Gavin and I saw The Witch, the Robert Eggers debut film.
Yeah.
When we were in high school. And when Gavin and I saw movies in high school, it was, you know, we liked going to the movies, but we also liked having an excuse to hotbox my car for an hour in the parking lot. So we would always go in blitzed beyond imagination. And we walk in.
You can't watch Robert Eggers sober. It's just not substantive enough.
I don't even remember the first time I watched The Witch that much, but I do remember this. there was a huge fight that happened between two dudes at the AMC we watched it in.
Bitch.
It was before the movie started. We're in the trailers, and these guys just start going at it with each other, and then security and AMC and all this stuff, and then they escort them out. And then I was like, bro, I don't even care what happens the rest of the movie. Like, I'm
Did you
on
know what
fucking...
they're fighting about?
No, I have no idea. Gavin and I were just sitting there like, whoa. And then we're like, this is crazy, bro. And we both used to work at, or at least at that time, I'd already worked at the AMC. So I was always like, bro, I hope none of these old employees that I used to work with see me here, because I definitely just no call, no show quit one day and never came back. So it was always awkward whenever like my old boss would see me going to the movies.
Fuck yeah. Well, folks, there's a lot of questions about the future, a lot of questions about the here and now. All we can say is go to the movies and talk to the person next to you after the movie, not during the movie, or maybe bring a friend.
100%.
And download follow me on Zhao Hongshu, the Great People's Republic.
Moshi Moshi. I think that's Japanese, sorry.